a 60 Sports Update.
The Blackhawks got back on the practice ice at Fifth Third Arena on Tuesday as they held their second workout in advance of this year's extended 24-team Stanley Cup playoffs, in which they will match up with the Edmonton Oilers. The NHL decided to take this route as part of its resumption of play due to the fact that several teams from both conferences were only a few points outside of the 8th playoff spot, with the Blackhawks being among them. Like the rest of the sports world, the NHL came to a ground stop in mid-March due to the coronavirus pandemic. But over these last few months, both the NHL and the NHL Players Association have worked together to not only bring a conclusion to this season, but extend the current collective bargaining agreement by another 6 years. The biggest challenge for the Hawks after a 4-month layoff will be getting back into game shape after not competing for so long. But at the team's virtual press conference, forward Dylan Strome talks about the workouts he employed to stay conditioned.
I actually didn't skate back home. Everything's pretty locked down back home in Toronto, Canada. I didn't find any ice, so I was doing a lot of rollerblading, shooting some pucks, playing some golf, working out with Paulie, doing the right things to get ready, and I feel pretty good, on the ice now.
Brandon Saad talks about the work that he put in to stay in shape.
I was back home in Pittsburgh with my family, so I have a gym, fortunately, in my house there where I could stay in shape and train, and then showing up here to get some ice time there during phase 2 a little bit. But it's good and bad, right? I think you find the silver lining where it's tough times for everyone.
While rookie Kirby Dach talks about the challenges he faced in trying to stay conditioned.
Season got shut down. I kind of took off back home right away and was able to work out pretty consistently. I have a home gym at home, so I was in there lots, and I wasn't able to skate for quite some time because all the rinks were shut down. But 3 or 4 weeks ago they opened up, so I was able to get out there 5 times a week and skate and feel the puck.
And while head coach Jeremy Carlson is proud of the work his players put in during the pause in play, he says that the most important aspect will be getting back on the ice, skating at full speed, and simulating game conditions.
It doesn't really matter how much training you do off ice. It can't prepare you for the hard skating that you need to do to have success, stop and start, and quickness, explosion, all those things.
This year's playoffs will certainly test the Hawks' conditioning. Defenseman Calvin Dehaan was excused from today's practice due to a family emergency, and goalie Corey Crawford has yet to practice with the team. All Coach Carlson will say is that he's unfit to be on the ice and wouldn't elaborate any further. Edmonton will be the hub city for the Western Conference side of the playoff bracket this year, and the Blackhawks are due to report there on July 26th. They will begin their 5-game opening round series with the Oilers on August 1st. And they'll have another practice at Fifth Third Arena on Wednesday. I'm Gabe Salgado for the Rewind Sports 60 on WCPT 820, Chicago.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Jeremy Colleton's availability today. Again, if you have a question, please press the raise hand button and we will get to you. We'll wait 1 second for everyone to join the call and then we can get started. So I'll just wait 1 more second here. Again, if you have a question, please raise your hand and we will get to you. Jeremy, if you want to get started, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sure the question's coming. I just want to address Cal Dehaan. He had a family emergency that he had to attend to, and unclear when he'll be back, but that's the reason why he wasn't there today.
Okay, thank you, Jeremy. Our first question will come from Scott Powers with The Athletic.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, Jeremy.
Scott, go ahead.
With Andrew Shaw announcing that he'll return next season, what's that mean for the team? And I know that you probably got to see behind the scenes look what these last 6 or 7 months have been like. And did you have any, deeper talks with him about just, his decision and what he was going through?
Yeah, we'd love to have him back. He's an important player for us, and experience and energy, and does a lot of things for you on and off the ice. So it's I'm familiar with what he's going through, and so I've tried to be open with him of my own experiences, and ultimately it's just him knowing that he has our support, and we're here for him, and want to do everything he can so he can take care of himself and his family, and in a perfect world that would involve him returning to play for us and helping us win, but we'll see.
Our next question will come from Chris Bowden from WGN.
Hey, Chris.
Chris, you can go ahead.
Jeremy, in instances like today when you have an absentee, are you going to try and rotate some of these guys in from the second group, at least early on here in camp, to give them a look with the main group and see how they adapt if you have an opening from that main group any kind of day?
Yeah, we've started doing that. In a perfect world, we'd like to practice with 12 forwards and 8 defensemen. We've been making sure we have that extra 13 forward, just in case if something happens in practice, someone gets dinged up or loses an edge. It doesn't destroy the practice. So we're gonna. It's experience for those guys to practice with us and understand the pace and what's required. And it's a chance, obviously, to prove themselves and show that they belong. And we're also looking to reward guys who look good, with the opportunity they're given. So we're trying to add some competition, and ultimately we're trying to want as deep of a group as we could have. Like, hopefully it's more than 12 forwards and 60 and 2 goalies. So that's what we're going to need. So that's we're using the 2 groups to try and it's a combination of development and competition and trying to figure out who can help us win now.
Our next question will come from Ben Pope from the Chicago Sun-Times. Ben, your line's active. Go ahead.
Lucas Carlson only played in 6 games before the stoppage, but for him to be included in the first group both of these days seems to indicate that he impressed in that time. How do you see him fitting into the defense moving forward?
Yeah, we liked him a lot in his games. He's played really well in Rockford. I think both the past 2 seasons. He had a little bit of injury trouble his first year. In the second half, maybe not the camp he wanted to have this past just this most recent season, but he got better as the year went on. And when he got the chance with us, in those games that you spoke of, I thought he was really good and impressed us with his how well he moved the puck and how well he defended. He was physical, played very efficiently. So that kind of game can transfer to the NHL level. And so we're excited about him, and he's going to get an opportunity for us to see where he fits in, and he'll add to the competition. Where that ends up, I don't know. I mean, that's part of our job, is to evaluate these guys and see where they fit in, and how can we build the best team with the pieces we have. But he's done well with his opportunity so far.
Our next question will come from Scott King with NBC Sports Chicago.
Hey, Scott.
Scott, your line's active. You can go ahead.
Hi, Jeremy. Just wondering if you could give us an update on Corey, and also if you know if he's in Chicago or not right now.
Yeah, right now the update is he's unfit to participate, and that'll be the answer until something changes there.
Our next question will come from Mark Lazarus from The Athletic. Mark, your line is active. You can go ahead.
Hey, Jeremy, it's a fine line to walk with all this between taking advantage of all this time you have and over preparing for the Oilers. Do you have a time in mind where you're going to start making that transition from general practice to specific practices?
Yeah, I think most of our preparation, specifically to Edmonton, we'll do, once, whether it's when we leave for Edmonton or just starting just before. At the same time, we're always looking to fold in how we play and how that's going to be effective against what they do. And I think any system of play, you want it to be flexible and be able to adjust it to your opponent. And so we know who our opponent is. So when we're talking about our own game and the things that are part of our identity, as we go through here and we review for the players, how we're going to play, we're trying to connect it to what we'll face and how it's going to be effective against Edmonton. And then as we get closer, we'll get more specific to them, which is that's one of the best things about being around a hockey team is preparing for a playoff series. So we're enjoying that.
Our next question will come from Gabe Salgado from WCPT AM in Chicago. Gabe, your line's active. You can go ahead.
Obviously, Coach, a big concern after such a long layoff would be making sure that everybody's in shape, but your players have seemed to have done a pretty good job of staying in shape on their own individually during this time. What are your thoughts on their due diligence in that regard?
Yeah, thanks, Gabe. It was a special situation for everybody. Not everyone had the same resources as far as, whether it's a home gym or their situation, or maybe some of the European guys weren't under quarantine, so they were able to do a little bit more. But I think they've done a good job of staying ready. And now our focus has been getting their skating legs and getting used to the stress that puts on you. So we've done a lot of skating. We haven't gone long, but it's been we've done a lot of skating, and that's part of we're trying to get them ready as quick as we can to perform at the level that you need to in a playoff series. It doesn't really matter how much training you do off ice. It can't prepare you for the hard skating that you need to do to have success, stop and start, and quickness, explosion, all those things. So even the guys who were skating in phase 2, they're trying, but we're trying to reproduce that intensity, and they really just started to be stressed. So it's been a lot of focus on that first few days here, and that'll continue.
Thank you, Gabe. Our next question will come from Carter Baum from Blackhawks.com. Carter, your line is active and you can go ahead.
Jeremy, I just wanted to get your thoughts. Brandon Saad was maybe one of the leading goal scorers over the second half of the season after he came back from injury. What have you seen from him and his game in those last few months, and what maybe you hope he's able to kind of pick back up on right away as you guys get underway?
Yeah, Carter, I think he was probably one of our most consistent players all year. You know what to expect out of him. He's so strong on his skates. He's able to protect the puck up ice. He can get you from the defensive zone to the offensive zone, carry someone on his back. He's the playoff type player. So, we know in the past his game has transferred really well to these situations, and he'll be one of the guys we're leaning on. And, I think he's excited to be back in these situations, and we're going to need him to be at his best.
Jeremy, thank you very much for your time, and media, thank you very much for joining us on today's call. We will send these out after in a short while, and we will see everyone at the rink tomorrow and on Zoom tomorrow. Thank you.
Relax, reset, rejuvenate. Go to our link right now to restart your life. TheRewindSports60.com. What are you waiting for? Hope to see you soon. The Rewind Sports 60.